So, woke up today, completely forgot this was happening, and woke up to this sight. I'd say it's a pretty good day for my day after my birthday, so let's see how lucky I can get. Not right away. Do have a lot saved up, so I'm sure I can pull her out. How are you treating me for my birthday, Nikke?
Next. Please.
Miss Alice? There she is.
They call me Trina, the caretaker of trees. You are always welcome to rest in my embrace.
I'll be taking you up on that. No worries. Right then. Drop her in the outpost real quick. There you are.
We must thank Sun, shouldn't we, little ones?
I guess I am Sun. Oh my goodness, Sun, is that really you? The one and only. I knew it. This is so wonderful. It feels like we found a little space for just the two of us. That's good to hear. This may end up being a problem, actually. I should be focusing on my work. Now that you mention it, what exactly is it that you do, Trina? What do I do? Well, I suppose if I were to put it simply, I'd say that I take care of all the little ones who live in the Ark. The little ones? That's right. You have kids. Huh, you could say that. I suppose you're curious as to what exactly I mean? Indeed I am. Please tell me more. Well, the little ones may seem strong but intimidating at first, but when you look closely, they can be positively adorable. Huh? Some of them are small and others are large. Oh, if you could come to my arboretum, you could see them. Ah, I get it now. I take it you understand now? Yes, you're referring to the trees. That's right. Someday I'll introduce you to them. Sure, I'd like that. I'm not sure when that day will be, but I hope that it's sometime soon. I'm looking forward to it as well. It's gonna be very soon, apparently. So you give your equipment. What do you do again? You're a healer, right? Healer, yeah. Ah, vulnerability for 2 seconds, that's cool. That's definitely a good one, I'll be using a bit.
Who are these little cuties on my head, you ask? They're my family.
They're a cute family. Now then, onto the event. For rest. Clever. Very clever game. Warm sunlight. A gentle fluttering breeze. Flowers sprouting up and blossoming one by one, dotting the land with color. In the Ark, spring has begun, bringing along with it a warm and dizzying array of emotions. For some, the overriding emotion is excitement. Hello, my lovely Lupins! Welcome to Ruby's Magnificent Shopaholic channel. Today I'm here at the Cherry Blossom Park, but do any of you know why? I know. The Spring Festa. Did I get it right? The correct answer is to introduce the upcoming Cherry Blossom-based festival, the Spring Festa. Woohoo! Did you guys see that? I never miss. I believe we got together today to work on our homework. Come on, relax, it's not even that much work. I can just copy it later, I'll be fine. Besides, if you don't watch Ruby's show as it's happening, you can't watch it later. The Spring Fest is one of the 10 most anticipated events in the Ark, and it's just around the corner. How do you all feel? Aren't you excited? Super duper excited. I've already been losing sleep thinking about catching a glimpse of the cherry blossoms from the surface. Me too. By the way, are you coming to the festival this year? I hadn't given it much thought. You're going, aren't you? I knew it. I knew you'd decide to come along. Let's see. We'll pick out a camera, a picnic mat, and... I suppose it'll be fine to take it one day off. What about you, Miss Privity? Would you like to come to the festival with us? Oh, me? You're still working at the maid cafe, Privity? Must really like it. Yeah, didn't you hear? For this year's festival, cherry blossoms from the surface will be open to the public. If you stand underneath them and share a kiss with a special someone, your love will last forever. Huh? Eternal love? That's right, isn't it positively heartwarming? So, as long as you share a kiss under the cherry blossoms, your love will be eternal. Are you alright, Miss Privity? You look like you're up to something. What? No, I'm not. I'm not up to anything. For others, spring brings a feeling of revitalization. It's spring. That means the festival harmony will begin soon. No, wait, that's not it. It's called the Spring Festa now. It's been a while since the name changed, but it still doesn't quite stick in my brain. No wonder it needs always says I'm behind the times. Then again, I am old at heart. What's in a name anyway? Festival, Harmony, Spring Festa. What does it matter which it is? What's important is that everyone has a good time. I hope this year's festival is a joyous one. For others still, it brings a sense of nostalgia. Hello, Trina. How's my day? Same as always. I took care of the little ones in the arboretum. And with tea with Flora and Leaf. That's pretty much it, huh? Oh, I have been hearing a lot about the festival lately. Looks like spring really has arrived in the Ark. This festival. You know as well as I do that the so-called everlasting soccer is nothing but an illusion. Nature, at least real nature, does not exist in the Ark. So, I don't think I'll be going. Really now? Huh, it's okay. One day I swore an oath to protect this garden, and I've upheld that oath ever since. I have no interest in illusionary fascinals of nature. Quite different from the belief what Flora has. Very cute.
Great!
It would be nice if the flowers could come along too. I may not be the best, but I can at least crack a few skulls.
What a nice little sound. When it's time for the sun to set, I begin to climb the hill. I don't know why, I just feel like it. It's habit, I suppose. One day as I was crumpling up an already crumpled piece of paper once more, and staring up at the sky, I was suddenly involved in a shadow. What was your day like? That was how I first met her. You looked sad, so I decided to talk to you. I'm not bothering you, am I? At the time, I felt like she was... I am, aren't I? I thought if I kept quiet, she'd stop bothering me and leave me alone. What are you holding on to? An Ark lottery ticket? I see. She didn't respond the way I expected. Your family is up there, aren't they? Then she placed a flower petal in my hand. If you let the wind carry this, it'll eventually reach your family. Wouldn't they prefer a beautiful flower over a scrap piece of paper? The petal fluttered up and away from my hand, and the wind carried it up high. I stood there blankly for a while, watching it fly away as she sat next to me. I'm Rene. What's your name? For reasons I can't quite explain, even though I had never spoken since coming down the Ark, on that day, my lips parted for the first time. Trina. Trina? Trina? Yes? Are you ready? Oh, just a moment. It's just... Seeing these flowers brought me back for a moment. Is everyone all ready? Right. We're ready, Flora. Alright. Are you all ready too? Okay. Lilac and Margaret are joining us, and they're ready as well. Now then, shall we begin the tea party? Sounds good. I'm sorry, but I have a question. For us? What is it? Well... Frold pushes a teacup in front of Mana. Lilac worries that it might be rude to keep a guest waiting without serving them some refreshments. Margaret thinks so as well. So, before we hear Aster's question, why don't we serve the drinks first? Would warm water be sufficient for you, Aster? Sure. And you, Trina? Can I please have a warm water as well? As for the little ones... They would prefer some cold water, please and thank you. There we are. Now they're properly prepared, we can commence our tea party. But everyone's drinking water. More like a water party. So, what was your question, Aster? It's... What am I doing at your tea party? Oh dear, what a question. Ah, that's a cute expression. We're not making you uncomfortable, are we? That makes me kinda sad. It's not that, but... Wonderful, so there isn't any problem. I came here on business. I had no intention of being involved in a tea party. Aster, the Botanical Garden squad holds regular tea parties. During these gatherings, we discuss all manner of matters. With the plants growing in our greenhouse. However, as you know, Trina and I rarely leave the garden, so we often don't have much time to share with the little ones. Very true. Usually it's not a big deal since we have Leaf with us, but she's up on the surface right now bringing in a new little ones. So please, if it's not too much trouble, could you tell the children what's going on in the outside world? That's kind of a big question to ask. Lilac and Margaret are curious as well. My little ones also want to know. I'm honestly pretty similar to you guys. I spent all my time in the research lab. I don't have many stories to tell. Today's the first time I've made it out of the lab in a week. Oh. Well then, how about you listen to the radio? Bunch of shut-ins in their own right. The only government-approved anti-aging injection in the Ark, Evergreen. Enjoy your adieux for longer. They just keep playing this ad over and over. If I'm not mistaken, the Sovereigns were the only ones who could receive Evergreen. After the first invasion, the Ark's production system wasn't yet fully established. Before the prices eventually stabilized, it was seen as a luxury item only the Sovereigns could afford. Now, however, everyone has easy access to it, which is a good thing. Yes, it's a relief. And we're back! Right now you're listening to Classic Diva, hosted by me, Noise. In part 2, we'll be reading some stories from our listeners and playing your song requests. Since Spring Festival is right around the corner, we've gathered some romantic stories related to our spring, guaranteed to make your hearts flutter. We'll be accepting story submissions all through the festival. So if you've got one, be sure to send it to our program. Before we read the stories, I'll get a brief introduction to Spring Festival. This year's festival is jam-packed with all sorts of special events. Since we've got Miss Liz's very own Botanical Garden squad on deck as host, not only will the cherry blossoms from the surface be open to the public, but the Ark's garden will also be available for viewing. So you can all look forward to the... Flora turns off the radio. Yes, I know, Lilac. This is my first time hearing about this, too. What's that? What is that, Margaret? How come they could make this kind of decision without telling us? Unfortunately, this world is filled with people who don't consider the thoughts of telling other people. You'd like to know who? Well, I'm sorry. Allow me to apologize on their behalf. I was going to mention it earlier, but I originally came here to convey orders from Siwin. Lobelia issued orders for us? Yes. In the interest of upholding market shares, Miss Liz has secured the rights to run the year's Spring Festa. Botanical Garden is to spare no expense ensuring the festival's success, including opening the gardens. If Lobelia is the one that arranged this deal, then why is the responsibility being thrust on us? Because it's a festival focused on flowers, which makes you perfect for it. It's not like we'll be able to refuse anyway. Okay then, so for the festa, no, we refuse. Trina? We mustn't open the garden. We can't. You do realize the consequences of disobeying Siwin's orders, don't you? It doesn't matter. What do you mean by that? This is what we can do. The domain which we oversee is divided into 3 sections. My garden, which is filled with flowers, Trina's arboretum filled with trees, and Leaf's specimen lab filled with seeds. For this festival, we open up my selection and my section only. Will that be acceptable? I'll report back to C1 and let her know. How about you, Trina? Are you okay with that? Yes, thank you, Flora. Good. Now then, Aster, is your work done here? Yes. But there is something personal I would like to speak with you about. With me? Rina's research lab will be cleared out soon, before the end of the festival. If you leave anything important there, you should retrieve it before then. Unless you left anything there intentionally. Intentionally? Leave something behind? Research center? Seems we got a lot here.
Let's show them the power of flowers.
And trees.
I need to be careful. Gently, so the stems don't get damaged.
I really thought that would be a rocket once you're looking at it. It's a huge
Slow
weapon.
and steady wins the race. Finally, we've borne fruit.
I see a lot of fruit. Multiple fruits. As the sun starts to set, I begin my habitual climb up the hill. I must have done it so regularly because of the view. The view of the Ark is beautiful from up here. One day, as I stood on the hill and looked down at the city, I felt a shadow come over me. That's how I first met him. I was wondering where you went. In case you forgot, residency registration is today. What are you doing out here? I know this is the first time we've interacted properly, and I hate coming off as a nag, but let's try to be punctual, okay? So, are you worried about joining our squad? No? Then what are you doing up here, looking so desperate? I realize that you're only done your research and work in the Ark, so the notion of going up the surface must be overwhelming. You only became a Nikke at the end of the Second Surface Reclamation War, so you never had the opportunity to head up to the surface. Don't look so surprised. I'm your commander after all, as you know a bit about your background. Now then, why don't we hang out here together? Mind if I stand beside you, my inexperienced friend? You're not inexperienced, you say? Well, I've certainly spent more time on the surface than you. As he chuckled softly, he stood beside me. I'm Josh Hummet. What's your name? You can call me Leader. A credit for your thoughts? Leader? Oh, hey, Senti. I've been thinking about the past lately, maybe because it's springtime. Anyway, don't worry about it, it's not that important. Are you done preparing for vacation? Yeah, I know it took a while, but I'm still not used to... I'm trying to figure if I'm happy with my outfit. It's a cute outfit, if anything. No, you look great. Even Bolt's wearing a little suit and tie. That's cute. I know you're just being nice, but even so, thank you for helping me pick this outfit. Please, consider how much you've done for me. It's the least I can do. In fact, correct me if I'm not mistaken, but is this your first vacation? Is it? I guess I've never taken a break since joining Mighty Tools. Since it's your first vacation, what do you plan on doing? I don't really have any plans. I have plenty of time, so I'm gonna mull it over. Is that so? Well, I hope you have a great time. Yes, I hope you have a good time as well, Volt. Leader pulls out an old pocket watch and checks the time. If I don't want to disrupt business, I should head out soon. Since you're well on my way, don't forget to keep providing our customers with the best service around. Of course, don't you worry about a thing. We're getting a new shipment of materials and equipment tomorrow, so be sure to give everything a proper once-over. Yes, I'll double and triple check everything. And also... before accepting anything on credit, make sure to confirm the payment deadline first. Don't let people pay without asking any questions like that. Oh, and another thing. Leader! Yes? You don't have time for this. Your vacation's getting shorter by the minute. Don't worry about me and get a move on. Start resting already. Oh, okay. I meant only to mention one thing. I guess I ended up going on for a while. It's okay. I understand. I understand that you're only looking out for me. Don't worry. I paid close attention to every single word you said. You said a new request came in, right? Yeah, from Rian. You know the Spring Fest that's been going on soon? Miss Liz is in charge of the festival preparations, and she asked us to build some facilities to use for the festival. And as soon as you leave, we're going to start the construction. This is the first time you've been responsible for a task of this magnitude. That's right. Before this, I've always worked together with you. So I'm both a little worried and a little excited. I promise, I'll do my best to uphold the sterling reputation of Mighty Tools that you spent your life building work. Are you sure you'll be fine without me? If you're really worried, I can push back my vacation. Leader, if anything here is worrying you too much, it's you. Relax, everything will be fine. All you want to do is all I want you to do is kick back and relax. And get ready to congratulate me on getting a chance to shine on my own. Alright, you, Volt, and I can celebrate when I get back. We can have a nice party. Sounds good, looking forward to it. The Spring Festa, huh? Once the festival starts, there'll be a crowd of people in most places. Maybe I should visit early and take a peaceful walk along the cherry blossom path. Well, I'll be off. Take care. Let's go, Volt. Always a hard worker, leader. Never wanting to take a break.
No need to fear. Litter is here.
It's litter?
Slow and steady wins the race.
I've been saying leader this whole time. You're telling me it's litter now? After months of playing this? Like nearly a year? It's litter? I still want to keep calling you a leader.
Finally! We've borne fruit!
Finally, I have a long-awaited time off. For the moment, I'm ruminating. What should I do before getting interrupted by someone knocking on the door? Play some video games that are in the library? Binge a show where I can turn my brain off? If not that, then... Actually, even if I spend all my day racking my brain deciding on what to do, I'll be doing it while laying down in bed. In fact, that in and of itself isn't a bad holiday. Because I woke up early in the morning and hung a notice on the door. If there's anything I've learned from recent past, is that Nikke have a proclivity for barging in my room at all hours. Just as I'm starting to relax, someone will barge in and get me involved in this and that, so I had to do something about it. So today, I got up extra early to put a note on my door saying that no one is here. As a result, no one has come to disturb me yet. After all, when you've got time off, you should have a chance to kick back and relax. Of course, I can just ignore the note. Blossom? Flora? You seem a little startled. Is something wrong? Did you not see the note on my door? Nope. Did you mean this? Flora hands me a piece of paper. I'm not in at the moment, so please come back later. Strange, isn't it? Here you are in the commander's room. Yet this note that there's a note saying you're elsewhere. Someone may be impersonating you as a prank. I'll have to track down the culprit. You don't have to go through all that. If you say so. Anyway, what is it this time? Is it you again? The Belly certainly does keep us on our toes with her unpredictable behavior. I feel like Belladonna would be a more appropriate name for her, being a poisonous flower and all. But I'm actually here for a different reason this time. For her please to explain everything that's happened. At one point she wanted to shut down the art garden, and now she wants to open it up to the public? Must be a headache dealing with her. Indeed, it can be. But her wanting to open up the garden also means that she finally acknowledged this in some fashion. So in that sense, I consider it fortunate. So what is it that you need me to do? Should I help you with the festival preparations? Oh, that's not why I came here. The festival preparations are going smoothly. Having Happy to help us with the last time the garden opened up worked out well, nicely. And they kindly offered to lend us a hand again. However, what is it? I'm worried about Trina. Blossom, how much do you know about Trina? Trina of the Botanical Garden Squad. She tends to the trees in the arboretum. She's so strong as her desire to be one with nature, she ends up removing her clothes. Where's Trina right now? At this point, she's probably tending to the trees along the cherry blossom path. That place is crowded with people. Indeed, it is. I'm not sure if you're aware, Blossom, but Trina takes off her clothes whenever she feels confined by them. This isn't an issue when she's inside the garden, but it's a different story when she's outside. I usually follow her around and make sure she doesn't do anything too scandalous. But I'm too busy preparing for the festival now, and don't have time to keep an eye on her. Would you be able to look after her in my place? Look after someone and make sure they don't go shrieking. Okay. Seems simple enough. How hard could it be to keep someone's clothes on? Even if it's a backless sweater like this.
I need to be careful. Finally! We've borne fruit!
For some reason, it feels like going to the spring... It feels like something is going to happen during the Spring Festa. Actually, scratch that. Something always happens whenever I'm supposed to be on holiday. Sigh. I'm not in at the moment, so please come back later. I crumple up the note and get up from my seat. Suppose I should get going. Flora says she's at the cherry blossom path. Boss, I got a favor to ask you. Now may not be the best time. Oh, really? I've got to head towards the cherry blossom path. What? Did I hear you right? I'm still touched, boss. Huh? I didn't even want to tell you what I wanted, and you guessed it right straight away. All that time working with you was worth it. We've gotten to the level where words aren't even needed to understand each other. In that case, I'll leave everything to you. I'll see you later. Wait. What is it? Oops. What was the favor you kept talking about? I was going to ask you to keep watch over Leader. Leader? Yeah, she's supposed to be on her vacation now. She says she's going to she's going around making things for people instead. I've never known her to take a moment of rest in her life. No matter the circumstances, she's always on the clock. So it's not exactly surprising that she's working during her vacation time. In many ways, I do find it remarkable. But even so, vacation is a vacation for a reason. When it's time to rest, you ought to do just that. So I wanted you to teach Leader how to kick back. You want to teach her how to relax. That's right. She should be walking among the cherry blossoms. She says she want to see them before the festival crowds arrive. Alright, I guess I was about to head there myself anyway. I'll meet up with her. Thank you. Oh, and there's something else I have to tell you. What's that? I'm gonna be taking my first solo assignment. I'll be constructing all the facilities for the Spring Festa. I'm gonna do my best to uphold my tool's reputation. So be sure to come to the Spring Festival to see my handiwork. I'll be rooting for you. Alright, I better get going. Just as Tina's about to leave, she abruptly snatches the crumpled up note from my hand. Trash goes in the trash bin. Maintaining a clean work environment is something I learned from a leader. She proceeds to toss a note in the trash for me. Commander never gets a break. Soon after, the cherry blossom path. Fortunately, there aren't many people around. Instead, upon my arrival, I'm greeted by two figures. I feel like I'm suffocating. Trina twisting and fidgeting in discomfort. Don't be absurd! And a leader who's standing in front of Trina and scolding her. She works a little already. I can't imagine how that feels constricting.
The flowers are crying.
Gently, so the stems don't get damaged.
Oh!
Nature is a beautiful thing.
One more victory for Bolt and me!
That day, the petals I let fly from the hill led me to the research lab. Working at the lab with Reen, the days passed quickly. Without saying who was first, we would both climb the hill together. And we'd look up at the sky. By the time the sun had set, Reen would ask, "How was your day today?" Days passed one after another. Before we knew it, 5 years had passed. One day, we sat on the hill as always, watching the sun go down. "How's your day today?" "Nothing special, another ordinary day." "How about you, Reen?" "Me? Same as usual. Conducting some research in the lab, taking care of the little ones. In other words, a very special day. By the way, speaking of the lab, have you ever considered officially joining the botanical garden? You could take your plant research to the next level. I could take you on with my pupil." That's okay, thanks." "What do you mean?" I just don't know what the point would be. It's not like the researching plants will help with reclaiming the surface. Not that I'm saying what you're doing is a bad thing. I know what you mean. No point, huh? To mark the arrival of spring, I was thinking of holding a festival called the Festival's Harmony. I want to exhibit flowers in remembrance of those who couldn't make it to the Ark during that first invasion. If it's not too much of an imposition, would you be willing to help me with the preparations? I never thought I'd be asked to help with our festival. I've helped with the Spring Festival before. In fact, this will be the third time I've lent a hand for the festival. Are you cheering me on? Thank you. But you don't have to do that. Fleur put me in charge of managing the cherry blossom path. There isn't much to it, considering that the trees don't require much intervention. They'll never wither. With a bitter smile, Trina's gaze drifts towards the towering cherry blossoms in the distance. The tree stands atop a hill, and lush blossoms painting the sky pink. So suffocating. Faced with such breathtaking beauty, Trina collapses to the ground. Can't breathe. Her breathing goes ragged, and she keeps repeating the same sentence over and over. Can't breathe. At some point, can't breathe. And desperate to attempt to break free from the illusion she's created for herself. Can't breathe. In order to get closer to nature. Can't breathe. Trina begins to tear off her clothes. Can't breathe. At the same time, what in the world are you doing? So she's feeling confined.
Careful so the little ones don't
Not
get
by her
hurt.
clothes per se, but just by the fact that the nature and the arc is all artificial.
Slow and steady wins the race.
She feels it's suffocating in that way. Suppose I understand not wanting to be surrounded by just plastic plants and fake plants all day.
Victory is blowing
When you know that real
before
stuff
our
exists
very
out there.
eyes.
The moment I joined the new squad, I was thrown headlong into the intensive training. By the time it was over, my body felt like it was falling apart at the seams. Nevertheless, I continued to climb up the hill. As I gazed down at the city, I heard Josh's voice. What are you doing over here? It's almost dinner time. We've got to make sure you're on time, right? Before I knew it, there was only 1 week left until deployment. That day as well, I was up on the hill looking down at the city. I knew I'd find you here. You came here in an awful hurry. That's pretty rich coming from someone who's always running late. We're having one final get-together before heading up to the surface. Don't you remember? Everyone kept asking me to come get you. How many times are you going to make me beg for you to be on time? Come on, pretend to humor this pitiful commander's request, will you? At least let me keep my dignity in front of those other squad members. So, do you still have concerns about going up to the surface? I was never worried. Nice try, I've seen you praying up here every day. Don't worry too much. Nothing will happen. We'll all come back safely. And when we do, we'll celebrate your first deployment on the surface. Right, I'm sure we will. Alright, I suppose we can skip training for one day tomorrow. Huh? What are you talking about? Have you heard about the Festival of Harmony by any chance? It starts tomorrow. If you're up for it, how about we go? The entire squad. Was that really 15 years ago? Oh, right. Sorry for stopping in the middle of our walk. Let's continue. I'm tired. All I did was make a few things on the way here and I'm already pooped. I'm not as young as I once was. I'll let Senti take over soon. I hope she's doing alright without me. You're right, I'll stop worrying. I should focus on where we should be heading for the party for her. It's important to celebrate your big debut. As Leah muses cautiously to herself, caustically to herself, she catches sight of a massive cherry tree in the distance. Is that the everlasting sakura? The tree stands atop a hill, its lush blossoms painting the sky pink. Standing before such rapturous beauty, the leader is rendered speechless. It's magnificent. At that moment, she spots a strange figure. Hold on, is that? Underneath the cherry blossom, someone that shouldn't be there is dangling from the branches. What in the world are you doing? Shrieking, being one with nature, and what's so wrong with that? Leader fills me in on what happened back at the cherry blossom path. I was taking a walk with Volt and noticed something in the distance dangling from the branches and tree. I wondered what it was, and it turns out it was Trina, tending to the tree in a state of undress. Naturally, I couldn't leave her like that, so I raised my voice at her. I had a feeling this would happen. Son, please, I can't go on like this. Maybe you should lay off on her for a moment, leader. Trina really seems to be in physical pain. Well, since you're here, Greenhorn, things should be better. Thank you. Just use a bit of discretion next time you get undressed. Alright. What are you doing? Peter quickly covers my eyes. But didn't you say I was okay since Sun was here? That's not what I meant. If anything, them being here makes it worse. Oh, really? Stop being ridiculous. I can't stand here and allow you to waltz around naked. I'm going to dedicate my time to making sure you become a respectable person. Me? But I'm a Nikke. That's not what I meant. Lily resumes her lecture. Sensei did ask me to help out, so I suppose I can't let things continue as they are. Once the commotion settles down, the three of us start walking along the cherry blossom path. I never noticed cherry blossoms when I was building this path. Now that they're in full bloom, they really are breathtaking. Everyone's going to love them once the festival begins. Wait, did you just say that so you built this path? Yes, Trina and I both constructed it. It feels like yesterday that Trina came to me asking if I could help build this path, which would be the way for the Festival of Harmony. But in reality, it's been years. Time sure does have a way of slipping from you. That's right, I certainly wouldn't mind it if it slowed down a little. That's why I'm always going on about this and that. We're no spring chickens anymore. We might be Nikkes, but we'll expire someday. So we have to make the most of the time we have left. And that includes not stripping to the buff anywhere and we please. Where did all this come from anyway? You weren't like this before. Huh, I'm not sure. Anyway, it is kind of funny for one veteran to be lecturing another. But since I've started, I might as well add one more thing. I want you to be remembered the right way, Trina. As a kind Nikke who cares passionately for others. And help create a place where people would come and feel happy seeing these flowers. You gotta live life to the fullest, and leave behind proof that we existed. That way, when our time's up, the world and people around us will remember us honorably. Shouldn't you complete your story for those who would leave behind? For the ones we leave behind, do you think there's any meaning to that? Of course there is. If you die without leaving a mark on any kind, how can you prove what kind of person you were? Instead, you'll become the subject of all kinds of rumors until you're eventually forgotten. That's why you have to work hard to live to the fullest and leave behind proof that we lived it. After they finishes her speech, the massive cherry tree on the hill comes into view. It's been a while since I saw this. Did you see it last festival? Yeah, and I thought the same thing back then. It's beautiful. The towering cherry tree seems to fill the entire sky with its overwhelming presence. As it gave upon the cherry blossoms in full bloom, memories of the previous festivals resurface. Many people will probably come see it again this year. We'll need plenty of facilities to accommodate the large crowds. I wonder if Sensi will be able to handle it on her own. I hope she doesn't make something strange again. Sensi will be fine. You've done a wonderful job teaching her. I want her to be more than fine. Quietly gazing at the cherry tree, Leader takes out a pocket watch. Before my time is up, I want Sensi to surpass me. Only then will I be able to pass this watch on to her. What's the significance of that watch? Let's just say it's proof that I've lived. Ever since I've been working at Mighty Tools, I've always kept this watch on me. If you're talking about passing down that watch, do you mean... Yes, I'll be stepping down from this job, retiring. Anyway, Trina's been suspiciously quiet. You're not taking your clothes off, are you? Are you okay? I feel like I'm suffocating. What's wrong? I'm fine, just go back. The Year Blessing Sakura doesn't need any care. It's just an illusion. It's fine to head back. Okay, we don't want you overexerting yourself. Greenhorn, I'll carry Trina. Can you take care of Volt? Sure. I really have been feeling uncomfortable, Trina, but lean on me. Thank you. It's times like this where I wish I was taller. Alright, let's go. With Trina leaning on her, Leader leaves Cherry Blossom path. Even though she said she was fine, Trina's expression when she glanced at the cherry tree bothers me. Almost as if there's a sense of being sick and tired or something. Are you feeling any better? Yes, thank you for taking care of me. Glad to hear you're better. What's on your mind, Greenhorn? You seem to be off in our world over there. Well, you and Trina made the cherry blossom path together, right? Right. Then what about that cherry tree? The cherry tree? I don't understand what you mean. I heard that the cherry tree from the surface, the Year Blessing Sakura, had its lifespan artificially extended. That's why it's been able to survive on the Ark all these years. Could the person who carried out those measures be? As a related story I heard from Sakura, Trina's body starts to tremble. As expected, the person who made the Everlasting Sakura is none other than... That's right. The Everlasting Sakura is one of my failed creations. I can definitely understand the feeling of wanting to leave behind something after you pass. That's sort of one of the reasons why I wanted to get into writing
I'll just do
and
what I can.
publish some books. That's why whenever I do pass, people will still be able to read those and see a little peek into my mind of what I was like to have made stories like that. Trina's case, though, seeing the Everlasting Tree as a failed creation, maybe it's because She feels that
Victory
it's
is
no longer a
blooming
tree
before
now.
our very eyes.
Since it's just artificially standing there forever, it's not like it's not
I
real
will
life,
protect
maybe.
both the blossom and the flowers. Aren't there any seeds around? Lay off the tongue, Bolt.
Well, like speculate for now, but that's how at least I feel.
So the stems don't get damaged.
Victory is blooming before our very eyes.
Preparing for a festival was much harder than I thought it'd be. By the time I came to my senses, it was already the last day of the festival. After finally finishing the last order of business, I dragged my exhausted body up the hill. When I got to the top, there you are. Reen was waiting for me as usual. How's your day today? I've been so busy preparing for the festival, but I think almost everything's done now. Yeah, I see. Would you like to sit here for a moment? As I sat down, Reen pointed to the town below us. You asked me before what the point of planet research was. Have you still not come up with an answer? The streets below were filled with smiling attendees of the Festival of Harmony, taking in the flowers and trees. Trina, plant research may not directly be helping in reclaiming the surface, that much is true. Still, if it affords us a chance to witness the sight currently before us, for me, that alone is a reason enough. By the way, did you know? The people who came to the festival are exchanging items that they brought from the surface. In spite of that, I brought something for you. I didn't have anything I brought from the surface, so I thought I'd simply give you what's most precious to me. Ta-da! Reen hands me a small key. It's a garden key. Garden key? Yep. I want to see more scenes like this in the future. So I made a garden. My wish is that when people are looking at the flower and trees, they'll forget their worries for a moment. I'm pouring that wish and my help into that garden. Right now it's just filled with saplings, so it doesn't look like much. But once they grow, you'll be amazed. You should come and visit when you got time. Thank you. I didn't prepare anything for you. It's fine. You've already given me plenty. I have? Yeah, I'm looking down at it right now. As Reen spoke, she gazed down at the town and smiled radiantly. Looking at her beaming, I found myself wishing for something. I wish that I could see this kind of scenery and look upon more brilliant smiles in her. Anytime, anywhere. Hey, Reen. Yeah? I wanted to join the botanical garden. So you finally came around to the idea? Thank you. Then you need to make a promise to me, alright? What is it? Never stop treasuring the plants. If you do that, you'll do right by the ones you're seeing today, and honor them. Pretty simple, right? A long time ago, there was someone who led me to the botanical garden. At that time, Reen particularly dragged me to the Harmony Festival kicking and screaming. It goes by a very different name now, Spring Festa. That day, I saw entire crowds of people forget all their worries while looking at the flora. After seeing Reen smile for the first time since he'd arrived in the Ark, I made up my mind. I decided to follow Reen's suggestion and resolved to research plants at the botanical garden. And that's how I made the everlasting sakura? I wanted people to be able to see flowers and trees anywhere, anytime. That way, whenever they wanted to forget their worries, they could have easy access to nature. And I'd say you succeeded. Thanks to your research, trees are a common sight in the Ark. After years of research, the day finally came when the everlasting sakura bloomed. The first person I went to see was Reen. That's when I realized for the first time, unlike me who became a Nikke, for Reen, who had chosen to live her life as a human, time passed much more quickly. In the end, Reen never got to see their everlasting sakura. My wish was nothing but a delusion. Looking back on it now, it's so obvious. All I wanted was to look upon her bright, pure smile, but I attempted to bring it about with delusions. It's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? I'm sorry, I know I'm a downer. Oh, I need to stop by the garden before it gets too late. I was told to notify them once we finish renovating the cherry blossom path. Soon after, we came to the garden to see Flora. However, something didn't feel quite right. Am I the one who finds this strange? No, I feel it too. Aren't there still a few more days until the festival? Yes, as far as I know. Why are there so many people here? The festival hasn't even begun, yet the garden is crammed full of Nikkes. Maybe they're asking for some extra help around the place? Something went wrong?
We need to prune the unnecessary branches.
So Trina feels because it took
Gently,
her too long to
so
make
the
the
stems
everlasting
don't
tree.
get damaged.
That's why she feels like a failure, huh?
Keep an eye out for places
I
where
guess
we can
it is a
plant
sad
flowers.
story. Something works so hard for just one person
Slow
and
and
they
steady wins
can't
the
seem to
race.
enjoy it.
Finally, we've borne fruit.
How many times must I tell you, we can't be late. Don't blame me if you end up getting chewed out by the superiors. Anyway, how are you finding the Festival of Harmony? It's nice. I didn't realize how long it's been since I've gone and relaxed. Well, we all need days off. If you only ever hurl yourself forward and fixate on the distant future, you'll get exhausted pretty quickly. We also never know when our time is up, and it'd be a real shame to miss out on moments like this, don't you think? We suddenly looked down at the festival, which was in full swing. From up a hill, the view down of the Arc, the sight of the people blending in with the native flower and trees, was truly beautiful. You know what I like so much about the festival? Whenever I'm looking at the greenery, all my worries melt away. When we go up to the surface, we'll get to see even more beautiful plant life than today. I can't wait. I'm excited too. Still, I don't think I'll forget what I'm seeing here today. Here, take this. Why are you giving me this? Didn't you know, on the last day of the festival, people exchange things that are precious to them. I already gave gifts to the others. It's hardly be fair to exclude you. That's a pocket watch I used to use. It may look a little worse for wear, but it tells the time perfectly. You can use it to check the time, so now you want an excuse for being late. Shouldn't we agree to have a nice meal once we got back from the surface? You're the guest of honor, and we're celebrating a successful first deployment on the surface, so we can't have you being late to the party. This time, let's try to be punctual. I'll try. I should give you something too. It's fine. If you can find something good the next time you're on the surface, you can give it to me. Leader has been lost in thought ever since we entered the garden. The sight of Nikke quietly enjoying the flowers seems to have her reminiscing about old times. He was right. Sometimes moments like this are necessary. What was that? Everyone seems so at peace. Anyway, we should try and find Flora. Yes, but how are we going to find Flora amongst all these Nikkes? Trainer! What brings you here? Biscuit, good timing. Huh? Do you know where Flora is? Flora? I haven't seen her in a while, not after all the visitors suddenly arrived. I see. I do remember her scent though, so I can try to track her down for you. That'd be wonderful, thank you. But don't you have to take care of the animals at the shelter? I know you've been helping Flora for the past few days. Guillotine is taking care of that furry friend, so it's fine. Guillotine taking care of pets? That's a little unexpected. She also brought along someone named Maiden to help her. Anywho, glad to have you. I'll go find Flora. Biscuit runs off to the other side of the garden. Even for Biscuit, finding Flora among so many Nikkes will surely take some time. Well, wait, why don't I introduce you to the little ones? Soon after. What flower is this? This one is called a lilac. Whenever spring comes, it breaks into a big green like this. Isn't it pretty? Leader and Trina are absorbed in the flowers. The more I look around the garden, the more I can feel how each plant is being conscientiously cared for. That's right. The plants here are carefully tended to maintain their natural form. The temperature, humidity, and soil and sunlight. Everything is carefully monitored and adjusted according to their specific needs. The fact that they've tended with such loving care is why the plants are able to bring out smiles in people. Because they've been allowed to remain in their natural state. Say, where do I need to go to see the arboretum you manage? Well, the arboretum will remain closed for the public. Isn't that right, Trina? Yes, that's right. It's not going to be open? Why is that? So that Reen can rest. That's all I can say. Huh? I heard the news. You finished renovating the cherry blossom path. Yes, so is there anything I can help within the garden? Sorry, what'd you say, Lilac? Oh my, I forgot all about that. And it's terribly important. Trina, I have one more favor to ask of you. And what's that? Before I ask, I should explain to you why the garden is so crowded right now. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. What do you mean? I thought of something while preparing for the festival. I wanted the Nikkes who work so hard every day to be able to come to the festival and rest. So I made a special invitation to them. But I accidentally wrote the wrong date on them. And that's why the garden was so crowded? Exactly. It's hard to imagine someone like you making such a simple mistake. No one's perfect. Should I tell everyone that the dates were incorrect? I think it's too late for that. True. Can't send everyone back after they came all the way. Precisely. So just for the day, I was thinking of holding a festival for the Nikkes. Oh, a festival just for Nikkes? That's not a bad idea. Which brings me to my request. Flora hands over a stack of pamphlets. In order for the guests to fully enjoy the festival, could you help distribute the Spring Festa pamphlets? Seems easy enough.
Careful so the little ones don't get hurt.
It is, I'd say, a nice, little, happy little accent that Nikke get to enjoy a festival on their own.
Slow and steady wins the race.
At least like this, they don't have to face any discrimination or anything.
Keep an eye out for places where we can plant flowers.
Apparently Trina is resting in the arboretum.
One more victory for Bolt and me!
It's quite a little revelation path. This year's Spring Festival will feature a unique promotional event. Attendees will take these pamphlets and get a stamp when they head to these specific locations. The garden, the spring fair, and the cherry brought from the surface. To help to make the process easier, I'd like you to place these pamphlets at key locations along the road. The garden has already been covered, so if you could take care of the other two spots, that'd be great. Following Flora's request, we head towards the entrance of the cherry blossom path where the spring fair was being placed. The area is already crowded with Nikkes who have received invitations. Rookie? Good timing. Everyone's here saying they got invitations saying to come today. Do you know what went wrong? Well, you see... So she wrote the wrong date on the invitations. What a pain. Is this going to cause any issues with the spring fair? Something set out to boost pretty quickly, so we should be able to get it up without running into no problems. Last time she turned a basic general store into a high-scale luxury boutique, so I was a bit concerned. But this time she did a perfect job. She kept the market's atmosphere appropriately modest, and the booth blended in perfectly with the cherry blossom path, just like I wanted. You tried it well, leader. You're certainly right about that, Jan. Oh, by the way, I have something to give you. Trina begins to explain the pamphlet and the stamp system to Jan. Didn't I tell you, leader? Cynthia would be fine. And you're right, Greenhorn. Cynthia has really blossomed. That's right, and she'll continue to flourish. One day she'll be sure to become outstanding as you. Whenever people see her, they'll recall that you are her teacher. And they'll remember what kind of Nikke you were. You'll be remembered as you should be. So, before your time runs out, think about what you want to do for yourself. For myself, is there anything more tragic than in the search for a complete death, leaving your life incomplete? Let's take my explorations. Leader suddenly watches the bustling spring fair boost for a long time. You're right. If possible, it would be best to complete both. That a girl. No one benefits from just devoting yourself entirely to work. You gotta make sure you do something to make your life more than just your work. Leave behind some memories that people can think of you of.
Gently, so the stems don't get damp. Return to the soil.
I could certainly never devote myself entirely to work. I gotta have some free time for myself.
One more victory for Bolt and me!
We're back at the cherry blossom path. All we need to do is place out the pamphlets along the way as we follow the path. Are you gonna be okay, Trina? Trina's gaze just towards a distant hill. Gradually, her eyes become stained pink. Just before her vision is completely enveloped in rosy hues, she squeezes her eyes shut. Do you still feel like you're suffocating? Yes. If it gets too much, we can handle it from here. You don't need to force yourself up the hill. Trina's hand clenches tightly, crumpling the pamphlet she's holding. After some time, she finally opens her eyes. I'm sorry. I'll wait here. You two can... Leader gently holds Trina's trembling hands. It's okay. Greenhorn and I will go to the Everlasting Sakura. Thank you. In the meantime, you can sit down here. Sorry? You heard, Flora. Today's the festival just for Nikkes. It won't be a problem for us to take a short break under a cherry tree. For goodness sake, how long are you going to keep standing there? You grabbed Trina's hand and yanked her down to sit beside her. Greenhorn, you have a seat as well. Alright. Sitting side by side, we proceed to gaze at the cherry tree. Isn't this nice? Whenever you take in nature, you forget all about your worries. Trina, there's something I've been wondering about. What happened with you and Irene? What was she to you? Trina flashes the key out of her pocket, and wordlessly fiddles with it for a long time. Then, as if she finally comes to some kind of resolution, she looks toward the distant hill and speaks up. Whenever the sun begins to set, I would habitually climb up the hill. Climbing up the hill, huh? I guess after Trina passes, you stop coming up that hill? Is that what's happened? You felt like you lost your point in climbing up the hill? Or something like that? Things seem to be wrapping up nicely.
The flowers are crying.
Hope it stays that way. It is a short little event after all.
Finally! We've borne fruit!
I became a Nikke not long after I joined the botanical garden. I did it in order to fulfill my wish. I needed time to create the everlasting Sakura. I threw myself headlong into research, skipping meals and foregoing sleep. Eventually I became oblivious to the passage of time. The more time I spent inside the lab, the less time I spent climbing up the hill. At some point I was staying in the lab all the time. After who knows how much time had passed, the everlasting Sakura finally bloomed. When that happened, the first person I went to see was Reen. However, the place where I met her wasn't our usual spot at the hill, but inside a quiet hospital room. It's been a long time. Irene. That's when I realized for the first time, unlike me who had become a Nikke, for Irene who had chosen to forego the evergreen injection and live her life as a human, time passed much more quickly. How was your day today? Conducted some research in the lab. Took care of the little ones. Just an ordinary day. I see. For me, it's a special day, because I get to see you. The flowers are blooming on the hill. I'm sorry that I couldn't go with you to see the cherry blossom tree. I don't have the strength anymore. Oh, I came too late. If only I'd come sooner. Trina, I have a favor to ask of you. And what is it? The garden. The promise we made. Going forward... In accordance with her last wish, Reen's ashes were scattered in the garden, and her belongings were delivered to the lab. From that day on, I protected the garden so Reen could rest in peace. Is that why the Arboretum is closed to visitors? There's a tree in the Arboretum where Reen's ashes are buried. I wasn't able to keep my promise to her. Instead, I chased an illusion and ruined everything. I created the everlasting Sakura and destroyed the true value of the plants I saw that day. I ruined any hope of seeing Reen smile again. No longer was I able to climb up the hill. Despite all of it, however, I still wish for Reen to rest peacefully. That's all I have left. And so I must protect that with everything I have. That is why I can't open the Arboretum. You regret creating the everlasting Sakura. That's why the hill instills you with fear. Yes, because Reen's no longer there. I see. Thank you for telling us. I'm sure it wasn't easy. As a token of gratitude, I'll tell you my story. You will? Yep. It was a long time ago. Back then, whenever the sun began to set, I would climb that hill habitually. Very tragic story. Devoting yourself to research to make something nice. Only for the person that matters most to not be able to witness it. Doing all that time wasted.
Gently, so the stems don't get damaged.
Oh!
Nature is a beautiful thing. but...
On the last day of the Festival of Harmony, people would exchange their treasured belongings. I'm gonna make a prediction here and say that leader's little squad group is gonna get wiped out, I bet. Seems like the predictable route. However, I never had the chance to repay Josh. The first day I went up to the surface, Josh died. Figures. He was killed by Rapture during an operation. He died trying to protect an inexperienced Nikke. It was her first time up on the surface, and she had wandered around excitedly without thinking. He threw his life away to protect a pathetic rookie. Keep your chin up, kid. My life for yours? That's enough for me. Stop talking. You're making your wounds open up more. Leader, what kind of person am I? I hope that I'm remembered as a good person. My first excursion on the surface came to a close, and I headed to the rendezvous point. It was the first time I'd been on time, but there had no one else there to witness it. My comrades left behind no wills, no mementos. There was nothing left. That's when I realized dying an incomplete death only makes it harder for those left behind. Ever since that day, I've strived to ensure that when I go, I'll leave my mark. I stopped climbing the hill, but it wasn't all bad. The reason there was a lot to do with the workshop, and my comrades were no longer there. That became my daily existence. That's when you came to visit me, Trina. The request to construct the Cherry Blossom Path. Once we finished the path, on the day of the Festival of Harmony began. I climbed up the hill for the first time in a long time. As I walked up the hill, admiring the cherry blossoms, old memories came flooding back, one after the other. Banal jokes and pranks between me and my old comrades resurfaced, and I had to stop walking from time to time as I was laughing so hard. When I finally reached the top, I stood underneath the everlasting sakura. From there, I could see it clearly. What they had left behind. Leader smiles brightly as she gazes at the distant hill. Over there, that's the resting place for my memories with my comrades. I wasn't the only one who saw it, either. When I looked around, I could see all manner of people smiling brightly. Some were leaving behind new memories. Some were reminiscing. And all were forgetting their worries in that moment. I want you to witness that, Trina. Even if you're afraid, I want you to climb this hill and face the everlasting sakura. I want you to see with your own two eyes that what lies there is not an illusion. So, Leader reaches her hand out to Trina and stands up. Won't you come with me to see the everlasting sakura together? Holding Leader's hand, Trina takes a step forward. With every moment closer to the everlasting sakura, showers of pink petals fill the sky as if responding to their steps. Stay strong, Trina. You're almost there. Okay. If it gets too much, let me know. I'm okay for now. Leader tightens her grip on Trina's hand, and the two of them silently climb the hill. After a while, Trina once again glimpses the scenery she had left behind on this hill so long ago. It's a beautiful tree, absolutely ginormous too. You once said that the everlasting sakura was nothing more than an illusion. Do you still feel that way? Underneath the cherry tree in bloom, throngs of Nikke smiled radiantly, as if they had forgotten all their worries. Trina, the everlasting sakura is no illusion. If it were, how could it bring out such wholesome smiles? Your desire to preserve the value of those plants, your yearning to fulfill the promise you made to Reen, they're still alive and well. But Reen isn't here. She can't see the everlasting sakura. There's no meaning to any of this. You're right, Reen isn't here. But her wish lives on. You said so yourself. Reen wished for people to forget their worries for a brief moment while looking at the flowers and trees. I want to see more scenes like this in the future, so I made a garden. My wish is that when people are looking at the flowers and trees, they'll forget their worries for a moment. I'm pouring that wish and my hope into that garden. The everlasting sakura has helped fulfill Reen's wish. It's allowed people to be truly happy, even if just for a moment, and smile. That's more than enough to give it meaning. It also means that Reen can rest in peace. Trina's gaze turns to the everlasting sakura, the place where Reen always spoke to her. The everlasting sakura casts its shade over Trina. You're right. Tears welled up in Trina's eyes as she gazed up at the everlasting sakura. As if to comfort her, a lone petal drifts into her hand. This is... Your family is up there, aren't they? If you let the wind carry this, it will eventually reach your family. Trina opens her hand, and the petal flies up high, carried by the wind. After watching the petal for a while, Trina speaks. Thank you for bringing me here. You don't have to thank me. You're the one who brought me here in the first place. He said his name was Chas Hummet. He must have been an amazing commander to have inspired someone as remarkable as you. I should thank him as well as your comrades. You're right. We should. Leader closes her eyes. As her memories intermingle with the scent of the flowers, she quietly prays that her fallen comrades may rest in peace. Leader, he said you wanted to visit Arboretum, right? Whenever you've got time, you're more than welcome to come visit. Sure, that sounds nice. Beneath the sheltering pink sky, Leader and Trina share stories from times long agone. Seems like I'm not really needed here. The next time I see the absent Sakura, I'll remember this day. Underneath the flourishing cherry blossoms, I quietly close my eyes, in order to remember that today, in all its beauty, for a long time. In order to not forget the memories of the past, and to forge new ones for the future. What a wonderful little event. Facing past trauma, learning to live with it, learning to move on. It's a classic little short story. And that is a very nice one, too. Down goes hard mode, boss.
Finally! We've borne fruit!
Finally, I've got some long-awaited time off. ... But there's something I can't get out of my mind. I can't rest until I get answers. I should pay Botanical Garden a visit. Oh, Trainer, hello. Hey, Biscuit, surprised to see you here. Today's the last day of the festival, and I promised to help until the end. I knew we can count on you, Sunflower. Blossom, what brings you to the garden today? Do you need some stamps for your pamphlet? No, it's not that. There's something I've been wondering about. Oh, what's that? The mix-up with the dates on the invitations. Was it really a mistake? That's hard to say. Will you follow me? There's something I want to show you. Are we where I think we are? Very pretty for just some trees. Very nice. Flora leads me into Trina's Arboretum. Throughout the Arboretum, people rest under the shade of the trees. After you and Marigold took Trina to see the everlasting Sakura, she came back and proclaimed that she wanted to open up the Arboretum. I must say I'm quite grateful to you both. I suspected that mistake of yours was anything but. Now that you mention it, where is Trina? She should be over there. Leader came by earlier, so Trina's giving her a tour of the Arboretum. Bigot points off in the distance where I can see... Ah, isn't that nice? Comfortable little ending. This place is so refreshing. Isn't it? Leader, do you remember one of the traditions of the Festival of Harmony? Where you exchange gifts on the last day? I remember. Well, I was thinking that I would give you something that's precious to me. Ta-da! Trader hands over an old key to Leader. It's the key to the Arboretum. Are you sure you're okay with giving this to me? Of course. From now on, I plan on keeping this place open to the public. That way, people can visit and forget all their worries. And Reen's wish can come true. Not only that, she'll be able to rest peacefully. To that end, I'd like you to keep this key. Really? Leader gently takes the key. I'll keep it safe. Feel free to visit the Arboretum anytime you feel like resting. Okay, I'll do just that. I really should give you something in return. Here, take this. Leader hands Trina her old pocket watch. I was originally thinking of passing this on to Senti, but I realized now that's not necessary. Even without this, people will be able to look at Senti and remember me. So I'd like for you to keep this. Trina takes the pocket watch with the equal amount of reverence. Thank you, I'll also keep this safe. How sweet. For some reason, my eyelids feel heavy. It's been a while since I had a nice rest. As the leader dozes off, Trina gently strokes her hair and smiles softly. An easygoing and carefree smile. Rest well, my friend. For rest. The end. A few days later. I can't believe how much dust has gathered up so quickly. Let's see. What's she doing now? A little epilogue to the epilogue? Trina looks around Reen's lab. The tables are lined with Reen's belongings. What's this? Among them, a letter catches Trina's attention. The letter begins with the following. Hello, Trina. How was your day today? It was another ordinary day. I did some research in the lab, took care of the little ones. A really special day. But you know, Reen, I prepared a festival, and you know what happened there? Warm sunlight, a gentle fluttering breeze, flowers sprouting up and blossoming one by one, dotting the land with color. In the arc, spring has begun, bringing along with it a warm and dizzying array of various emotions. For some, the overriding emotion is excitement. For others, spring brings a feeling of revitalization. And for others still, it brings a sense of nostalgia. Now that was a really nice extra epilogue to have for this little event.
Victory is blooming before our very eyes!
Sweet little event. As always, these are always a joy to play through, no matter how deep or long they are. Till the next story event. I already saw the little teaser for the next character. Her name was Bretty. Just gotta wait. Well, now we'll have to wait for her, see what she's all about. Until then, goodbye.